Good morning students, have a nice day. This video is the continuation of first lesson video. The name of the lesson is Reproduction and Modification in Plants. In part 1 video, you all understood about the topic reproduction, types of reproduction, parts of flower and types of flower. Now, we are going to see a very interesting topic, pollination, fertilization and modification of plant pots. Let's see the topic pollination. What is pollination? The process by which pollen grains reach stigma is called as pollination. The flower that received pollen grain is called pollinated flower, while the one that did not receive pollen grain is called unpollinated flower. In some plants like grasses, pollen grains are light. Stamen shed pollen grains and are carried by wind to other flowers. Insects, birds are also the agent of pollination. What are pollinators? The agents that are helping in pollination are called pollinators. Pollination is classified into two types. One is cross-pollination, next one is self-pollination. Bees, butterflies and variety of birds, they help to carry pollen grains from one flower to another. Pollen grains stick to their legs, wings, etc. When they move from one flower to another, this is called as cross-pollination. When you shake the stamens, pollen grains fall out. Thus, when a wind shakes or when a butterfly agitates the flower, pollen grains could fall onto the stigma of the same flower. Some plants that have both the male and the female pod within a single flowers. These flowers are called as bisexual flowers. Pollinated by this means. This pollination is called as self-pollination. Let's see the differences between self and cross-pollination. Self-pollination, first point, pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or to another flower of the same plant. In cross-pollination, pollen grains are transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same kind or different plant. Second point, plants do not need to produce pollen grains in a large quantity for self-pollination. In cross-pollination, plants need to produce pollen grains in larger quantities to increase the chance of pollination. Third point of self-pollination, it does not produce changes in the characteristics of new plants. In cross-pollination does introduce variations in characteristics of new plants. The next topic is fertilization. Through pollination, pollen grains reach stigma. What happens to them after this? Substances produced on the stigma causes the pollen grain to germinate. During the germination, a tube develops from the pollen grain that carries a male gamete that ultimately reaches the female gamete inside the ovary through the style. Male gamete fuses with the female gamete to form zygote. This process is known as fertilization. Fertilization is nothing but male gamete fuses with the female gamete to form zygote. Where is the female gamete? Inside the ovary, small rounded structures, ovules are present. In these ovules, female gamete is present. Compare mango, peas and lady's finger. A green part above the fruit of brinjal and lady's fingers are sepals of a flower. In some, after fertilization, sepal will not fall from the fruit and remain or persist with fruit. Compare mango, the outer skin and the middle pulpy are edible and sweet. Innermost is with single seed. But B. Fruit is not fleshy, but forms a covering pouch for many seeds. In all above fruits, ovary, a lowermost swollen pouch of pistil, develops into a fleshy fruit. Ovules present inside the ovary gets transformed into a seed. Hence, now with this observation, shall we list the changes taken places in the flower after fertilization. These are collectively said to be post-fertilization changes. Calyx sometimes persists with fruit. Petals wither or fall off. Androecium fall off. Pistil remain and develop into a fruit. Style and stigma fall off. Ovary enlarges to store food materials and develops into a fruit. Ovules present inside the ovary develops into a seed. The next topic is modification in plants. Each plant organ originally evolved to meet certain needs of the plant. For example, roots evolved primarily to anchor the plant and also absorb water and mineral nutrient from the soil. Leaves were adapted to optimize photosynthesis. Stems evolved to reach out to sunlight and also serve to conduct water from roots to leaves. However, in certain plant species, specific pods have evolved further in unusual and surprising ways to meet certain other specific needs. In some plants, root, stem and leaves change their shape and structure to perform special function like storage of food, mechanical support, protection and other vital function. This is known as modification. Let's see the topic modification of root. Roots for storage. Look at the radish, turnip, beetroot and carrot. They all grow under the soil. As soon as you pluck it from the ground, if you wash them gently, you will notice small roots dangling from the surface. All these vegetables are in fact roots of the plant. Instead of thin slender roots, in case of such plants, the roots have become a place to store the fruit produced by them. Hence, they are thick and swollen. Taproot of radish is in the shape of spindle, swollen at the middle and tapering at both ends. Such type of modified roots are called spindle-shaped root. Example, radish. At times, like in the case of turnip and beetroot, the taproot can acquire a shape of top, that is spherical at the base and tapering shortly towards the apex. They are called as top-shaped root. In case of carrot, the shape is conical, broad tip and tapering gradually towards one end. Such modified roots are called conical shaped root. Next topic, mechanical support. Look at a banyan tree. It seems to have many trunks supporting it. However, many of them are actually roots. As the banyan tree is large and huge, it needs support not to tilt and fall down. Many plants require such additional support. Such plants develop roots on their aerial parts to provide mechanical support. These roots grow downwards and act as supportive organs. There are three types of modified roots for support. First one is prop root, second one is stilt root, third one is climbing roots. First one, prop roots. Roots are modified to provide mechanical support as seen in banyan tree. These roots grow vertically from horizontal branches of a tree. Next, stilt root. In sugarcane and maize, adventitious roots arises from the nodes in the cluster at the base of the stem. These roots are called as stilt root, which give additional support. Third one, climbing root. In betel and black pepper, nodes or internodes bear roots which help in climbing. The next topic is gaseous exchange. Avicennia is a tree which grows in mangroves or swamps. They have roots which are seen above the ground for the purpose of gaseous exchange. The roots are erect peg-like structure with numerous pores through which air circulates. These roots are called breathing roots or nematophores. Now you all understood about the topic pollination and types of pollination, fertilization and modification of root. In next video we will discuss about the very interesting topic modification of stem and leaves. Let's see the evaluation part. First Roman letter is choose the correct answer. The first question, pollinators are dash. The options are A. Wind, B. Water, C. Insects, D. All the above. The answer is D. All the above. Second question, climbing roots are seen in dash. The options are A. Black pepper, B. Rose, C. Lily, D. Lotus. The answer is A. Black pepper. Third question, breathing roots are seen in dash plants. The options are A. Banyan, B. Jasmine, C. Sugarcane, D. Avicennia. The answer is D. Avicennia. The second Roman letter is true or false. First question, the transfer of pollen to the stigma is known as pollination. The answer is true. Second question, conical shaped root is carrot. Answer, true. Third question, after fertilization, the ovule becomes fruit. The answer is false. Next Roman letter is answer the following. First question, define pollination. Answer, the process by which pollen grains reach stigma is called as pollination. Second question, what are the agents of pollination? Answer, wind, insects, birds, water, animals and humans are the agent of pollination. Third question, what are the two types of pollination? Answer, the two types of pollinations are first one cross-pollination, second one self-pollination. Thank you students.